All right, so AMD just released their earnings report and the stock price is up about 1% as I am recording this video. May I say things are looking super strong for the company. We're gonna see, right, total revenue was up 99% compared to same time last year. That is insane. Another thing, they did mention that they are increasing their overall 2021 guidance and they expect about 60% for the full year of 2021. So things are looking pretty impressive. At the end of the episode, I'm also going to share my overall thoughts in the stock price and if I'm still happy at these levels, would I be willing to buy? So let's just jump right into it, right? So AMD, like I mentioned, strong Q2 results. They saw 99% year-over-year growth on the revenue and they saw 12% quarter-over-quarter growth on the revenue. So huge growth beat. Gross margins of 48%. That's up 4 percentage points compared to same time last year. 2 percentage point compared to a quarter ago. We're gonna see in their outlook this 48% gross margin is going to be their peak from now on, at least for this year. So definitely pretty interested in that. Cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments are $3.8 billion. This company has plenty of cash at hand. Operating cash flow positive of $952 million and record free cash flow of $888 million. Plenty of money making from their everyday business. This is what you like to see. Repurchased about 3.2 million shares of common stock for $256 million this quarter. So they're buying back their shares, and I believe for the upcoming quarters they're gonna continue to buy back shares because they themselves are very bullish on the company. So for those not familiar with AMD, they have two major segments. The computing and graphics segments, here's where you get your Ryzen CPU, your CPUs for laptops, for desktops. You also get your graphics segment here. Then they also have the enterprise embedded and semi-custom segment. Here you get your data center CPUs like the EPYC processor. You also do get some of their custom chips like the ones that go on some of the gaming stations right now and some other big players out that we're going to take a quick look in. So if we jump in right into the computing and graphics segment, this is one I was super interested in. And before we go any further, guys, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services The Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. Right, because graphics right now, a lot of people are saying that they're taking a huge lead right now due to the Bitcoin currency, due to cryptocurrency, right? Crypto mining and all that. And recently this quarter we saw that China kind of is halting all of crypto mining, and that's a good portion of where crypto mining comes from. So I was seeing how that would cause a slowdown in the computing and graphics segment, and it doesn't seem like it is because it's up 65% year over year and 7% quarter over quarter. They are also seeing higher average selling price, ASP, mainly because the overall demand of the Ryzen and the overall demand for their graphics cards. They are also seeing increase in higher end graphics product sales, including data center GPU sales. And may I say, I have done AMD's earnings, I want to say every single quarter for the past 2 years. And this is the first time they've really kind of talked about the data center GPU sales. This is not a market they normally talk about, usually because NVIDIA is a huge leader here and they don't take much share from them. But right now it's interesting that they do mention this data center GPU sales right now. If we take a look at the enterprise embedded and semi-custom segment, we saw Intel reported earnings last week. They saw a decline in data center sales. Right now, AMD saying, nope, we have 183% year-over-year growth, 19% quarter-over-quarter growth, driven by their EPYC processor, which is the data center processor, right? And they're also seeing huge growth in the semi-custom products. This is the 5th straight quarter of record server processors revenue. So this AMD EPYC is definitely taking market shares out there. It's grabbing, and I'm super excited. That this alone, that line right there, has made me even more bullish on AMD. Semi-custom revenue is up year over year and quarter over quarter, driven by the overall demand for game consoles. Right now, you're pretty much many people still can't find some of these next generation game consoles because of the chip shortage, because of the overall demand. AMD also shares some of their strategic news and highlights. AMD's growth in cloud is increasing dramatically. AMD's base systems, I did a video on the top 500 supercomputers, the fastest computers out right now. AMD has increased by almost 5x in the last year of supercomputers that are using AMD products. Tesla also selected AMD's Ryzen embedded CPU processor and their GPU to be used on the Model S and the Model X vehicles, and they have already started production shipments for that. And I mentioned this a bit, I want to say 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Valve has chosen AMD to power their Steam Deck, which is going to be a handheld game console and is scheduled to launch December of 2021. So obviously they're buying chips right now. So AMD, I think revenue, like we're seeing, revenue growth is going to be super strong. We can see this revenue uptrend, right? Increasingly dramatic, growing at crazy levels in just the past few quarters. So we saw gross margins, right? I don't think there's anything else here to really take a quick look at. The only final thing I want to take a look at is their overall balance sheet. They have about $3.8 billion in cash and short-term investments. That's up almost $700 million compared to last quarter. Total debt is pretty much flat compared to last quarter, but it is down about $450 million compared to a year ago, right? Or total debt net is down about $377 million. So they're increasing their cash, they're decreasing their debt. I mean, overall things are looking super exciting for AMD. Now, they did give us guidance, like I mentioned, for the full year of 2021. They expect growth of 60% compared to the same time last year. They expect gross margins to be somewhere around 48%. Like I mentioned, I feel like that's where they're peaking. So things are looking good. I'm very excited. I am more bullish in this company. If we take a quick look, let's just take a quick look at the stock price right now. It's up about 0.9%. I mean, with earnings like this, I feel like this stock is really being slept on, especially with their acquisition coming later on. The earnings call should be happening in the next few minutes. Maybe they talk a little bit about there, but if they don't really announce it too much in their press release, I don't think they're gonna go off too much from there. Maybe they might talk about it in the Q&A sections, but this is definitely most of the information from their earnings report that they're gonna discuss in the earnings call. Right now, like I mentioned, AMD, I believe it's my number 3 position in my portfolio. At this moment, because it's such a big position, I'm a little hesitant of buying. If it was, let's say, my number 10 position, I wouldn't mind buying at this levels and just increasing that overall exposure. So it all depends on where it would be in my current levels. If I didn't have AMD right now, I wouldn't mind buying it at these levels. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.